feel questioned every day for my worth, for how I look, and damn, it hurts. And I put the power in the hands of a man who looked me up and down and said I was not good enough. I won't be defined by the skin I'm in. I am perfectly designed and resilient. I am Mother Nature, sole creator, provider for the world. You can try to shame me, try to change me, but I hold the strength of a girl. This is what it feels like to be a woman. This is what it feels like to be a woman. Can I be more than just a body in your mind? I wanna be more than just a body in your mind. But if I'm cautious and if I'm scared, be aware, be aware. This is what it feels like to be a woman. I'm vulnerable, I'm emotional, it comes with my DNA. But I am rooted in the earth where life begins, and oh, I can carry the weight. I am Mother Nature, sole creator, provider for the world. You can try to shame me, try to change me, but I hold the strength of a girl. This is what it feels like to be a woman. This is what it feels like to be a woman. Can I be more than just a body in your mind? I wanna be more than just a body in your mind. But if I'm cautious, if I'm scared, be aware, be aware. This is what it feels like to be a woman. Every story has its glory and its pain, but you can never know me, my whole story, by just looking at my face. This is what it feels like to be a woman. This is what it feels like to be a woman. I will be more than just a body in your mind. Oh, I will be more than just a body in your mind. But if I'm cautious and if I'm scared, be aware, be aware. This is what it feels like to be a woman. This is what it feels like to be a woman.
Hi, I'm Padma Lakshmi, and you may know me from shows like Taste the Nation or Top Chef, but what you may not know is that I'm also a survivor of sexual assault and a long-term advocate advocating against domestic violence. That's why I'm voicing my support for the Retreat's All Against Abuse annual celebration and gala this evening. Over the last 35 years, the retreat has turned from crisis intervention to literally changing a person's life. The retreat serves thousands of people every year. And did you know that all throughout COVID-19, that the retreat's doors remained open? The 24-hour hotline never was left unanswered, and that 60% of the retreat's residents are under the age of 16, the most vulnerable members of our society. And thanks to the generosity of people like you, the retreat is able to offer their services to survivors free of charge. Thank you for supporting this extraordinary organization, and please join me in continuing to lend your voice and support for the retreat and all that they do for domestic violence survivors. Thank you.
I'm Vicki Cooper. I'm the shelter director for the retreat. And this is my mom.
I'm Elaine DeGraw, and I ran away from the abuse 58 years ago and went as far as I could go, but there was nothing like this around back then. There was a place like what Vicki is running, and people knew about it. I ran because I knew one of us was going to be dead. If it wasn't me, it was going to be my daughter. And you do not hit my kid in such a way that she could have seriously been hurt, especially at 2.
And that's what happened, right?
And that was the final straw. But I knew I was going before that, and I planned it. I saved every dime and nickel. I had money hidden all over the apartment. Any dime that I could save from the groceries, money I was given for groceries, I ate a lot of toast and black coffee so my daughter could eat and I could stash. So somebody that was here on the island, who was from upstate, came up with a couple of friends, and they stopped in. For some reason, he wasn't home, and they saw some bruises, and they talked to me and said, "We can't take you right now, but if you ever get out, get to Long Island, we'll help you get on your feet." And they did. They provided a roof, took care of my daughter while I worked, and started getting on my feet and doing for myself. My story isn't the only story. I know that, but I'm just saying that now, if the person knows and they really want to get away, there are places they can go.
If anybody needs our services, our hotline number is 631-329-2200.
It's been a year that I've been working at the retreat, and I love it. I'm a violence survivor, and when I was going through my ordeal, I started to volunteer because I didn't know anything about abuse, any type of abuse. So I decided to educate myself, and as I was going through the process, I decided to help others. So. And now that I can do it at the retreat, for me, it's like my dream job, because I feel that I can help so many people, women, children, men, and so I think it's really important to try to raise awareness, also try to prevent this epidemic. I'm a bilingual case manager. I work for the SPARK project. SPARK stands for Supportive Parents and Resilient Kids, and we work with a non-offending caregiver and their children. And we provide counseling, and we have support groups. And in my role, I have to provide all the resources available to them, from housing to how to get food stamps, how to apply for SNAP, immigration. We have a lot of clients that don't have documents, and they don't know they have rights. So it's kind of like doing a little bit of everything, which I love.
My name is Susan Varesh, and I'm the staff attorney at the retreat. I tell people all the time that this is my dream job. I think it's because when I went into the law, it was because I wanted to help people. The law is a very powerful thing, but it has to be wielded in the right way. And people that are disenfranchised, people that don't have money or education, they don't have access to legal representation. It's important for the retreat and other domestic violence agencies to have attorneys on staff because there is no other option for a lot of victims. If they can't afford to retain an attorney, there's very few agencies that can assist and offer pro bono or free representation. It just doesn't happen. Having a staff attorney allows us to help our clients with any legal matters that they have, whether it's a divorce, whether it's an eviction issue. There's a lot of issues other than the more obvious ones of safety and custody and child support that victims face. And by having an attorney in the office, we can help troubleshoot some of those issues.
I'm one of the people answering the hotline and the online chat at the retreat. Our hotline is available 24/7, and we provide emotional support, information, and crucial resources to the people navigating the difficult process of healing or leaving an abusive relationship. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, on a typical day, domestic violence hotlines across the country receive about 21,000 calls. That's about 15 calls per minute. But when we consider that there are people who, for various reasons, haven't called the hotline, then we realize that the number of people experiencing domestic violence is probably higher.
Joy, you've been a longtime supporter of the retreat, and you actually introduced me to this organization, which is really a life-changing, life-saving organization. What made you want to get involved in it?
Well, it's a very reputable organization. They do incredible work. They save people's lives. I mean, there are women who are being abused at home, mostly women, although I've heard that men can be abused, of course, and they have children who are suffering also. And this place is like well, they call it the retreat, which is what it is. And this is the type of thing that can happen to anybody. We could all be in difficult straits, and it's really nice to know that there is somewhere that you can go to get help. And I've been to this place many times, and it just is an incredible place. They're very caring. They're very nurturing. Nobody is made to feel like they don't belong there. And I like to throw my support behind places like that.
And they offer financial services, legal services, education.
I know.
They'll reacclimate families after they've been in the shelter, which is incredible.
Yeah.
They take them to court to help them. So they're really not alone.
No, amazing services are provided. I mean, after you are traumatized by whatever has happened to you at home, you don't just get a place to get help. You also get all of these services afterwards because, let's face it, you've got to be in the world. You've got to get a job. You have to take care of your children. Now you're a single parent, and they give you all of that. It's amazing the work that they do. They even provide transportation, which is incredible.
During the pandemic, the situations of abuse became more dire. People were literally prisoners in their own home. And the retreat, their staff dealt with this in such incredible ways and still were able to keep the shelter open and got help for people. But the situations of domestic violence continue. What's your message for people who are trapped in those situations right now? What would you want them to know?
My God, the pandemic made everything worse, didn't it?
Yeah.
I feel bad for that, for people who are stuck in an abusive situation and they can't get out. I mean, that is just hell on earth.
Right. They're not alone now.
They're not alone.
They're not alone.
Now, I mean, there's 100% confidentiality. It's totally free of charge. They offer a 24-hour bilingual hotline and are open 7 days a week. Fantastic.
It really is. What's the biggest misconception about domestic violence?
Well, I'm not an expert on this subject, but just from observation, I think that a lot of times victims of domestic abuse feel that it's their fault. Somehow they think that they did something to cause another person to abuse them. And I think that is a major misconception. I think also that, financially, sometimes women can't leave. They have nowhere to go. But of course, this is why we're doing this, because there is a place to go. That's probably one of the biggest problems, is that you have, it's like, where would you go if you have no money? Sometimes a lot of these abusers, they hold these people hostage. They cut you off from your friends. You can't see your family. They block your bank account. And so you are stuck there. And so people always say, well, why didn't you leave? Well, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to leave emotionally, physically, and financially. Right. So this is a place that will help you.
And also we learned domestic violence, it affects people regardless of your economic status, race, religion, gender.
There is a misconception that only poor women or poor guys, if we're going to include the men in this, are victims of domestic abuse. That is not true. And we know from being at the retreat that many of the women who go there have rich husbands, who are just gaslighting them or what have you. And they're cut off from their family too. So it doesn't matter what socioeconomic group you're coming from when it comes to this particular topic.
And you toured the shelter. What was your takeaway from that visit?
Oh, it was very comfortable. It was actually very nice. The kids are having fun. They're playing. The women feel safe. Nobody knows where it is. That's a big secret. I mean, we know where it is because we've been there. Although I don't know if I could even find it again. Because it's a well-kept secret.
Yeah. So the families, they keep the confidentiality for
100%.
safety. And also that they offer counseling there. They have art therapy for the kids.
Yeah.
They have clothing. Oftentimes, a lot of the families just leave literally with the clothes on their back and come there, and everything is taken care of.
I don't know if people realize that they're actually leaving the house with what they're wearing. Grab your bag, grab your kid, and just get out. And when you get to the retreat, they have clothes for you, they have diapers, they have food, everything.
And the last question, what would you tell people? Why support this organization, and why do they need your support?
Well, I mean, my goodness, it could be your neighbor. It could be someone in your family. You want to support any kind of an organization that actually physically, emotionally, and financially helps another human being. It's not something that, is in the abstract. It's going on everywhere.
Right.
And so it's a good place to send your money.
Thank you.
Sure.
To help support the retreat, you can log on to their website, which is allaganstabuse.org.
It's not strangers that children and adults have to worry about. It's people they love and know in their own home. They need a safe place to be. That's why the safe nights at the shelter are so critical for our survivors. Last year, we provided almost 4,000 safe nights, thanks to you. The counseling department at the retreat provided over 2,300 individual counseling sessions. We also added 4 new counselors who work with children. 100% of our clients who stay at the shelter use other services, including case management, advocacy, legal, counseling, and financial empowerment. Last year, we were able to help 43% more clients in advocacy, and we had 100% success on obtaining protective orders for clients. That leads to safety, and for our survivors, they're able to experience life without abuse.
Hi, I'm Jarrett Martino, and I'm the founder of Love Wins Productions, creating awareness for subjects deserving attention. So it couldn't be more in alignment that I'm able to help my friends at the retreat produce this gala for the 3rd year in a row, as their mission is creating a better tomorrow without violence. If you haven't heard, I produced a film titled My Mother's First Name, Donna, Stronger Than Pretty. It's my mother's escape of domestic violence and how she made a life for herself and her 3 children, juggling 3 jobs, working, going to school, cleaning houses, waitressing. Such a remarkable woman that inspires me every day. You would think after making an entire feature film about my family's true story that I'd be past the point of shame. However, that's just not the truth. I still find moments of feeling my own shame, and the pain of the past does come up. It's really finding the light and, support groups like the retreat that have helped my family personally. And I so support everything that they do, from the children to the women to the men, the shelter, their 24-hour hotline. It's life-changing and life-saving work. So please make a donation today.
Hi, my name is Andrew Vass, and the song you're about to hear is one I wrote in dedication to the retreat and the All Against Abuse Gala. It's sung by myself and Raquel Castro and composed by Eric DeLong. It's titled You Will Be Okay, and we really hope you enjoy it.
Sometimes you wake up with that emptiness inside you, and it feels like there's nothing left to give. You try to run, but there's an anchor holding on, and it won't let you get past everything they did. You scream out loud, feels like the volume's been turned down. No one hears you, no one cares. When it feels like you're about to hit the ground, a voice is calling, and it says, oh, you gotta hold on. You can be your hero, you can light the way. Oh, you gotta hold on. Stand up at ground zero to live another day. You're a warrior, you're a fighter. You will build yourself back up, you're a survivor. And you've always had that strength down in your body. That's a feeling they can't take away. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
You try to fake it, put that smile up on your face, even though in your heart the battle wages on.
Rain's coming down just when it feels like you might drown. A voice is calling, and it says, oh, you gotta hold on. You can be your hero, you can light the way. Oh, you gotta hold on. Stand up at ground zero to live another day. You're a warrior, you're a fighter. You will build yourself back up, you're a survivor. You've always had that strength down in your body. That's a feeling they can't take away. You'll be okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Don Lemon, host of CNN's Don Lemon Tonight, and I'm speaking to you on behalf of the retreat and their work in violence prevention. Thank you so much for tuning in and for being part of All Against Abuse. By learning more about the issues and challenges facing survivors and our community, you are helping to break the cycle of violence. The retreat is a local organization serving families on the East End, a beautiful place where I'm standing now, a place that I call home. Half of their work is aimed at supporting victims of domestic violence, family violence, sex assault, and trafficking with comprehensive services. Their other focus is violence prevention education. The retreat is in every single school in this region, working with students from kindergarten through college. I've been a big supporter of the retreat for a number of years because I know the importance of their work. Please do what you can to help. Donate, learn more, or volunteer. Remember, we are all against abuse.
Abuse in relationships does not always look scary or mean. It can be manipulative and controlling. A key message for survivors is that the abuse is not their fault. In fact, a partner's attempt to blame them can itself be a manipulative tactic. The retreat works with over 2,000 students per year to help them understand what's healthy and what's unhealthy in relationships. We help them learn about setting boundaries, about red flags for potentially manipulative or unhealthy emotional relationships, and we focus on technological abuse, which has become a major issue in the past several years. The retreat's Teen Leadership Council, student volunteers, and our college interns have partnered with us to really address some of these issues related to abuse and technology. They have researched the issue, they have talked with their peers about the challenges, and they've worked with us to develop activities and important outreach campaigns to help students recognize, set, and respect boundaries, both online and off. The retreat has a long-standing commitment to violence prevention, but we need you. Join us by supporting the retreat, learning more at All Against Abuse, and participating in our education programming and events.
Hi, I'm Monica Lewinsky. Some of you who were around in 1998 may remember me from One History, but in more recent history, I've been an anti-bullying activist working to create a safer and more compassionate world for all of us and our young people, especially online. Cyberbullying is not just impacting comments on your social media posts. It's invading people's lives. We need to work together to raise awareness about this issue. We need to support organizations such as the Retreat that address digital boundaries and work with students to better understand the dynamics of digital abuse. Please, this is not a time to be passive. When we see cyberbullying occurring, we need to be upstanders instead of bystanders. This can mean speaking up if you feel safe, or reporting an incident of abuse that you see, and or reaching out to the target of the cyberbullying just to ask them if they're okay or to send an emoji. Help lead someone back to their dignity. Help ensure that someone who is suffering and in pain is not doing so alone. Anyone suffering from shame and public humiliation needs to know one thing: you can survive it.
What is one piece of advice you would give your younger self about digital boundaries?
Keep doing your thing and don't get too sucked into what other people are posting about, or small comments, or just small intentions that other people seem to have towards you.
Something I wish I could have told myself about digital boundaries is you don't have to always express yourself for everyone to see or even center your life around social media.
Your life doesn't revolve around social media and other people's opinions.
I think it would be to not use social media as much, not post as much about my life.
It's not a competition to see who gets the most likes or followers, but to genuinely share things you desire.
Don't overshare everything. Like, some things are just meant to stay private.
I'd be very wary of like what social media apps I'm downloading, and who are the people that I'm following and who are following me and stuff like that.
Be careful when responding immediately to text messages. It traps you in this cycle where people feel like, oh, if they don't respond immediately, then they're mad, they're upset. It reminds other people that my digital life doesn't necessarily need to revolve around you.
Don't get sucked in with other people, because that can then become a burden on yourself.
So something I would tell myself when I was younger was to stop apologizing for my boundaries, because they're there for a reason. They're part of who I am and who I've become as I've grown over the years, and anyone who respects me or cares about me will understand that.
At a point, I kind of got trapped in a certain cycle where if I didn't respond immediately, people were upset. And I was like, oh, don't blame me. I'm just getting to it when I can. Gives people a certain impression after you do things for a while, and then it's hard to change.
I had to take a step back and actually realize this is my life and I don't have to worry about other people's opinions.
When I first started having social media, access to Snapchat and Instagram, I would like overshare everything. And then like one day I was like, wait, none of this is like really necessary.
Like, you don't need TikTok and Instagram to tell you how to be or get more followers, and just overall enjoy your time looking at the real world and creating memories that are time worthy.
Thank you so much to all of those survivors for sharing their stories. Together with my co-chair of the board of the retreat, Claudia Pilato, we wanted to thank you for joining us. Because of your support, our amazing volunteers and staff can provide safe, confidential services to survivors of domestic abuse. The retreat appreciates you.
I'm Claudia Pilato, and I'm co-chair of the board of the retreat. Tonight, we're really excited to be here to celebrate, to applaud our survivors in a really wonderful get-together. But the reason I am involved with the retreat is because domestic violence is such an important issue, and there's so many people out there that you don't even know are struggling. Could be your neighbor, could be a friend, could be an older person, and so the retreat works very hard to provide services, and that's really why I chose to be a volunteer head of the board and do everything I can for this community to help alleviate abuse.
My name is Raquel Ward, and I've been with the retreat for about 3 years, and it's a wonderful place to work. I'm the HR manager, and I get to work with everyone at the retreat, and I've never ever worked for a place that everyone is so committed. I go home knowing that I've helped the community. That's why I love working for the retreat.
Hi, my name is Jale Dorso, and I support the retreat as a board member, and I'm also into a lot of their programming. I work in education, so I always think it's important for us to know how to find resources and do things that's helpful to get help in our community. So I'm a big fan of the retreat and everything that they do, and I'm so happy to be here tonight.
My name is Ellie Curris. I'm the vice president of the board of the retreat and also the chair of the Gala committee. And I'm here tonight to celebrate survivors of domestic violence. And I support the retreat because of all the services they provide.
I am Kim Jones. I am a warrior. I am a survivor. I take great pleasure in being a part of the retreat. This is a wonderful organization that I love to volunteer with and to share my story. I don't take it for granted. I celebrate all of the survivors, and I pray for the ones who are still in the midst of the abuse. And to the family members and the friends, don't give up. It may be hard, you may not understand it, but they need someone so that when they reach out, they have you to reach forward. So I thank you. I thank the retreat for this wonderful gala. What has transpired from this night will help so many individuals and so many families. And so I thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael Goldstein. I'm a member of the board of the retreat. And it's really a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight. I have one motivational thing that keeps me going since I've joined, and that's the staff. The staff is some of the most committed, dedicated people I've ever met. They're true to the mission, and it is an absolute pleasure to work with them every day.
I'm Tamron Hall, and it was so important for me to be here tonight to support the retreat. Their message to remind survivors of abuse that they are not alone is a message that I learned when I lost my own sister to domestic violence. So to be here tonight, to support them and celebrate what they've accomplished, but also look to the future at the challenges ahead and embrace those challenges, because at the end of the day, we don't want anyone to feel alone, and tonight proves they are not.
Hi, my name is Barbara Matson. The retreat is near and dear to my heart because I was a client in the shelter the whole summer of 1992, the first summer that the retreat was open, and they are an amazing organization. I took full advantage of all their services. I met wonderful people there, the women, the volunteers, the counselors. The retreat saved my life. If I had nowhere to go, I wouldn't be here today. What can I say? It's wonderful that the retreat is here, and they have saved so many lives. So please support the retreat.
You'll be okay. You try to fake it, put that smile up on your face, even though in your heart the battle wages on. Rain's coming down just when it feels like you might drown. Voices calling, and it says, oh, you gotta hold on. You can be a hero, you can light the way. Oh, you gotta hold on. Stand up at ground zero to live another day. You're a warrior, warrior. You're a fighter, fighter. You will build yourself back up. You're a survivor, survivor. And you've always had that strength down in your body. That's a feeling they can't take away. You'll be okay.